Okay, hey everyone, and welcome to the FTC Alumni Spotlight Series hosted by FIRST Robotics, Team 21351. We're so grateful to have you here today, and if you enjoy this conversation, be sure to stay engaged and like, share, and subscribe. So, just to give some background information, the goal of this series is to spotlight the journey of FIRST alumni and leaders and to explore how their experiences in FTC help shape who they truly are, both academically and professionally. So, just to introduce myself, my name is Shoria, and I'm from FTC Team 21351 Sidewalk Robotics, and we're so glad you're here today. And thank you so much for joining with us. And we're so incredibly excited to learn from your story. So, just to get us started, Diana, could you tell us a little bit about who you are, what the FTC team you are on right now, and what you're currently doing in college?
Yeah, so first of all, thank you for having me on today. I'm excited to chat. So I started first when I was actually 7 years old in First Lego League, and then I ended up doing first for 11 years until I graduated high school. I was on an all-girls FTC team called Spider Bite 10216, and
Mhm.
right now I'm a mechanical engineering student at Yale studying mechanical engineering.
That's amazing. Congratulations on Yale, by the way. That's a really good college.
Thanks.
So, obviously you were on first for a long time. So throughout these years, what roles did you hold, or how did the responsibilities grow as you evolved through from FLL to the higher levels?
Yeah, so FLL, I was just general team member, and then
Hmm.
when I moved up to FTC, I started off as a general team member. I joined when I was in eighth grade, and then when I was in 10th grade, I my team sort of established captains, so I became the co-captain of my team, and then we sort of transitioned into like different roles. So on my team, I did a lot of mechanical hardware, but I also did a lot of programming. So then I was also briefly like mechanical lead of the team, and then just taking up on a bunch of different roles.
That's really cool. And so you did it for how many years again, first? Or for FTC in general?
So I did first for FTC, I did for 5 years.
Okay, so throughout those 5 years of FTC, right, was there any particular challenge or theme or year that you think was particularly memorable for you?
Mm. Um, I don't remember the exact game, but I think it was the year before Power Play, which was, I think it was a 2021,
Hmm.
2022 year. And um, I had the opportunity of working with becoming like a Dean's List winner. And so from that process, I was able to go to Houston for the first time and see the World Championship,
Hmm.
and then meet a bunch of people from around the world and really see how First makes an impact. I got that year, I also got to go to headquarters and just see how First actually operates from Manchester.
That's really cool. I know Dean's List is a huge award. We had a couple winners from our team, but again, congratulations on that. So, obviously you are on the more engineering side, would you say, right? So,
Yeah.
was there any specific technical skill that you learned in FTC that ended up being really useful later on, would you say?
Oh, absolutely. I would say like majority of my technical background in engineering today comes directly from my first experience. So in first tech challenge, I specifically learned about computer aided design for the first time.
Hmm.
So one of our mentors hosted a workshop for CAD and I learned how to use Onshape. And then the next few years I was teaching workshops on Onshape, teaching other members how to CAD. And then now that's something I do on a daily basis. I'm right now at my internship and I'm CADing every single day
Hmm.
and learning a lot about mechanical design, 3D printing and additive manufacturing, stuff like that. Just such a big foundation that you get from first. And then also being able to just use off the shelf parts. So I know that a lot of FTC kits, back when I did FTC for a couple years, we didn't have access to a 3D printer. So I was just mostly putting a bunch of the kit parts together. So that was a big skill for me, is using commercial off the shelf components and knowing how to just like integrate them with each other. And so I actually apply that now in the projects that I work on at school and at my internship.
That's really cool. So, in your internship, what type of CAD software do you guys use? Is that still Onshape or the more advanced versions?
So I would say like right now I've just been using SolidWorks,
Hmm.
but I've also in industry used Creo. It's usually a mix of like Creo and SolidWorks. I know other places use like Fusion 360 or something like that.
Hmm. That's really cool. Okay. So, obviously you are in college now, you're at Yale. So like as you like moved on, like throughout the college admission process, like how did FTC show up and like how did you frame that, would you say?
I would say I went kind of crazy about first in my stories that I was telling in
Hmm.
college. So first has definitely made a huge impact on my life. I know that First has a lot of scholarships and like sponsorships with different colleges and universities. Yale is absolutely one of them. Um, and so I think First is actually what gave me that step into being able to be in the position where I am today, for sure.
Hmm. Yeah, was first your number one activity on your college? Was it that impactful, would you say?
I would say, honestly, I would say that First was a huge part of my life. Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, I know. I've been in first for I think since my like sixth grade year too. So I know for a fact like whatever you're saying right now, I can definitely attest to that too.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is pretty obvious, but first has definitely had like a pretty big impact on like your major, right? And like your college interests. Like, did first like help you discover your like love for mechanical engineering?
Oh yeah, for sure. So the way that I kind of decided on mechanical engineering is my mentors on my team. So we were based in the Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Lab. And so all of our mentors worked there and we had like an internship program. And
Hmm.
so when my mentors were asking me and like some of our other like team members, okay, we'll help you match with a mentor so you guys can do the internship program. Do you want to do more? Do you like more coding or do you like more building on the team? And so I said I like building more. And so I ended up doing mechanical engineering internships. And then that kind of inspired me to pursue mechanical engineering as a major.
That's amazing. And hmm. So reflecting on everything that you have throughout the first, like your entire first journey, would you say that like, or sorry, what advice would you give to current FTC students or current first students in general?
I would say my biggest advice would be to keep that curiosity you have in first and apply it to your everyday life, you know? Take in everything you can from these competitions because like obviously first kids are super cracked and the robots you guys build are just absolutely amazing
Hmm.
and just take in and try to learn as much as you can from each other because when you go to college you're just going to be learning a bunch of like theoretical things and equations and then it's going to be kind of hard to just remember um what the reason of you learning these things are used for, but if you're able to kind of connect everything that you're learning in engineering school, for example, to the robots you made in first, for instance, or just using that skill of like, okay, now I know these mechanisms and now I know how they work, and now I'm going to learn the theory behind it. It's going to make learning so much more exciting.
Yeah, I totally agree. So, in your opinion, right, what do you think separates like a good first FTC team to like a truly exceptional one that's able to succeed at like the world level, for example?
Yeah, so I've been lucky to be able to connect with a lot of world-class teams at the Maryland Tech Invitational and also at the First Championship. And I would say one of the biggest things that I've noticed is that most of the team members are super engaged and super curious
Hmm.
and willing to learn. And because they have this passion, genuine passion for robotics, they're able to put in as much time and energy into making the best robot possible. But really, they're just doing it out of curiosity. And because they're so curious and fascinated with the field, they end up being able to create something so remarkable. And I think also what differentiates these teams is that they're so willing to learn from each other and
Yeah, I
so willing
totally
to
agree.
listen to each other and have amazing teamwork skills. And because of that, they're able to kind of bounce ideas off of each other really crazily and create something super impactful.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like if you aren't truly passionate about something like first, which requires so much work, like you can't truly succeed. So 100% being curious and being passionate is definitely the biggest things you need. So this is my final question actually, but if you had to describe FTC or even in first in just one word, what do you think that word would be?
That's a good question. One word is tough. I guess I'd say cooperation.
Competition. Yeah, because of all the work you're doing together with other teammates, would you say?
Yeah, for sure. And of course, it's just like a super important first core value.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, that actually is all the questions I have for today. Again, Diana, thank you so much for sharing your experiences with us today. And like, honestly, all the answers and insights you've shared with us right now will actually hopefully make a meaningful difference for younger students and teens across the state that come across this video through, or hopefully our YouTube or Instagram. And we're so excited to share your interview across with the broader FIRST community. We're truly grateful for the time and impact you continue to put for the next generation of innovators, just like us, by sharing your insights. And we hope to stay connected and collaborate with you in the future if that's possible.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for
Okay,
having me on today.
okay, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.